Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV, just gotta show the fit real quick. We are back with another video, and in this video we have a weekly recap. Week 4, I believe we are on, which means we are a little under a quarter of the way through the season. We had plenty of really good NFL games this week. I'm sorry if my hair looks like shit. I just came from being outside, and that fucked my hair up. The Packers scored 40 points this week. We will get to that game actually last in the recording session for today, and then I'll probably watch the Monday night games while I'm doing some stuff, and then I don't even know if I'll watch them. Actually, I might just peep them and kind of watch a movie throughout the night. I have a decent amount of homework to do, so there you go. But I have them on green. They scored 40. The closest jersey I have is 30. The next closest would have been Clay Matthews, so if they have a similar week next week, we'll have Clay Matthews. So I have Clay Matthews, Charles Woodson, a bunch of others. Yeah. We got some football to get into. I'm not really sure how many games, but there were a few blowouts, but overall a pretty fun week of football, so let's get into it. I need to get some new Packers jerseys, but let's start with the Thursday night game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Jason Myers boots a 52-yard field goal in the final play, lifting the Seahawks to a 3-point win over the Cardinals. The Seahawks looking pretty decent this year. Now, they are one of those teams that have like a deceiving looking record because they really haven't played much, but still, they're doing better than my team. The Seattle Seahawks could have been shell-shocked, giving up a 14-point lead during the latter half of the fourth quarter and turning their comfortable advantage into a tie game with 33 seconds left, but look what happens. Jason Myers goes down, kicks a field goal, and they get the victory. We'll talk about this game pretty quickly. I didn't really watch this game all that much, but Sam Darnold, 18 for 26, 242 yards and a touchdown, establishing himself pretty well within this new system. Kyler Murray having kind of his issues with Marvin Harrison, but I mean, they are kind of their offense. Kyler Murray, 27 for 41, he threw 2 touchdowns. He did throw a couple of picks, but if you watch the game film, I mean, Marvin Harrison was the cost of both of those, I do believe. So there you have it. In terms of running, I mean, Kyler Murray also getting it done on the ground, 5 carries, 41 yards. We know him to be a dual threat mobile QB. In terms of receiving, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 4 catches for 79. And he went against Marvin Harrison, who had 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. And I do believe he could have had a better game without those drops. When you look at the Seahawks defense, you have a guy like Devon Witherspoon out there making plays. So shout out to the Seahawks for getting the victory. Let's get into the Sunday action. Start with the Dublin stuff, where we had the Vikings and the Steelers. The Steelers hold on for a 3-point win over the Vikings and the NFL's first regular season game in Ireland. Shout out to the NFL continuing to globally expand. Now, I don't always think they should go globally, especially in Ireland with a bunch of drunk fucking leprechauns. Sorry, I don't give a fuck about you guys. Why are we mugging an NFL quarterback in the streets? Do you want games over there or not? I don't know. There was that whole story. That doesn't really pertain to the game. I just kind of wanted to bring it up. Even though he's relatively new to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers fully understands the Rooney family's connections to the Emerald Isle. The ownership has connections with Ireland, so that's kind of a cool thing. Really fun game, though. I mean, DK fucking Metcalf is an absolute dog. Turned on the Jets, scored a touchdown. He has been such a good receiver so far this season for that Steelers team. He ended up with 5 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Him and Rodgers, incredible. Rodgers hit the smelling salts, and we were good to go. Shout out to the Steelers, though. Their defense, as always, just showing out, coming up with stops when they need it. They have Peyton Wilson, a young linebacker out there playing really good defense for this team. Jalen Naylor had a touchdown on 4th down. Jalen Naylor, a young guy that the Vikings picked up that is actually proving to be a pretty solid player, kind of complimenting Justin Jefferson. Steelers turning defense into offense, and like Kenneth Gainwell was a big part of that. He had 19 carries, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So just a pretty fun game overall in Ireland. Carson Wentz threw 30 for 46, 350 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but he had 2 picks, whereas Aaron Rodgers, a very, very efficient 18 for 22, 200 yards, and a touchdown. You look at everything else, Justin Jefferson, fantastic game, 10 catches for 126. That's kind of the game there, folks. Let's transition over to the Chargers and the Giants. My oh my, what a game we have here. Jackson Dart's impressive debut leads the Giants to their first win over the Chargers. Obviously, Malik Neighbors is out for the year. They had to await the results, but now we know that he is out with an ACL for the season, so their best receiver's kind of fucked. Now, will Wan'Dale Robinson step up in that spot? We'll have to see, but as of now, even with Malik Neighbors, I mean, this Giants team has looked pretty fucking pitiful. It's changed with Jackson Dart, I'll give him credit, but Brian Dable found a grinning Jackson Dart on the field after the New York Giants' first victory of the season, hugged the rookie QB around his neck, and then gave him a big slap on the chest. You saved my job, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty fun game here. Shout out to Jackson Dart scoring his first NFL touchdown. Had a pretty decent first start. Nothing crazy. I mean, 13 for 20 and a touchdown. Kept it quite simple. Well, he posted Madison Beer on a story before the game. That was funny. Theo Johnston got a touchdown for the Giants, and they're just kind of scattering for running back, so that's cool. Malik Neighbors obviously got carted off again. We know he is out for the season now, which is super unfortunate. But I mean, they have Darius Slayton, and they have other guys they can look to. Darius Slayton, 3 catches for 44. We'll just have to see how they adjust. Justin Herbert threw 23 for 41 and a touchdown, but he threw 2 interceptions. Justin Herbert not looking great this week in general, but they had a decent offensive effort. I mean, Amarian Hampton, 12 carries, 128 yards and a touchdown. The rookie already making waves in the league. You have Quentin Johnston, 8 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown, looking to be one of the most consistent wide receivers in the league right now. And shout out to guys like Brian Burns on that Giants defense really getting it done. Let's skip a game or two ahead and talk Commanders and Falcons. Man, I don't know if I like where the Commanders are at, if I'm a fan of them. Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson have career best days, though. They lead the Falcons to a 7-point win. Obviously, this Commanders team is very shorthanded, has dealt with a lot of injuries. Jaden Daniels, all of that stuff. Falcons coach Raheem Morris didn't hesitate when he was asked when he saw something that confirmed his belief in Michael Penix Jr. after last week's disastrous loss to Carolina. Terrible week for them last week, but they recover. They get back to 500, so that's awesome. Really fun game here. Bijan Robinson is fucking unbelievable. Making defenders miss, breaking tackles, an absolute touchdown machine. I mean, you look at him, he had a touchdown this game, and he played some really good football. So shout out to Bijan. I mean, Marcus Mariota and Deebo Samuel had some solid connections, and just kind of looking at those two, Marcus Mariota threw 16 for 27 for 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but Deebo Samuel had 6 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown, so that was pretty cool to watch. Tyler Algier, obviously being on the other side of things, a really dope dual threat backfield that the Falcons have kind of developed over the last couple of years. Slice and dice and breaking tackles, getting in the end zone as well. Shout out to Kyle Pitts. He had a touchdown this game. But overall, I mean, just kind of looking at it, you look at Michael Penix, really good game, 20 for 26, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but young quarterback, is he going to make mistakes in this league? Rodriguez Jr., I'm not really sure who that is for the Commanders. They're kind of having a whole running back dilemma with Brian Robinson going to San Fran and Eckler being out for the year, but he had 7 carries for 59 yards, so he was making the most out of his touches. Drake London had 8 catches, 110 yards and a touchdown. Finally, my boy on my fantasy team making plays. And you look at that defense, I mean, Zach Harrison and Jesse Bates, they've really built a really awesome board that helps them defensively, so shout out to that. Let's skip ahead even further and get into the Eagles and Buccaneers game. The fake tush push and the special teams touchdown helped the Eagles beat the Bucs by 6. They remain 4-0. They are undefeated. They're one of the only undefeated teams in the NFL, I believe. But the Philadelphia Eagles don't need a tush push when the fake is even more effective, and that's kind of fucked up, and that's like the toxic nature of the play calling with Sirianni and the guys. But really good football here. Blocked punt to the crib, a bunch of special teams, and a bunch of just miscellaneous things. And people will find a way to call Jalen Hurts a top 5 QB. I don't agree, but I mean, he's winning football games because of his other guys. So it is what it is. But Baker Mayfield and Bucky Irving, though, they played pretty damn good together. Holy shit. Baker Mayfield, 22 for 40, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick, which can be costly when you're playing a guy that doesn't make mistakes like Jalen Hurts. But Bucky Irving had a really good game. 5 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Those two are really what was churning the wheels of that Buccaneers offense. Saquon, again, the fake tush push, taking it in for 6. He really wasn't even the good running back in the game. I don't know what's been going on with Saquon. He's been in a bit of a drought, but again, 4-0. The only people that should be concerned is fantasy owners, not Eagles fans. Emeka Egbuka is so fucking good. I don't understand how he come in his first 4 games and has played the way he has. I'll put his stats like for the season up on the screen, but my God. Jalen Hurts, though, 15 for 24. He threw 2 touchdowns, just kind of getting into the performers. Jalen Hurts, honestly, not the greatest season so far, but he's winning games. You can't complain. He also had 9 carries for 62 yards, being a dual threat quarterback, and Dallas Goedert got in the end zone twice this game. So that's pretty cool. Their defense, again, another team that's built a great defensive foundation with Zach Bond and Cooper DeJean and all these different guys. So shout out to the Eagles for another win. Up next, let's get to the Jaguars and the 49ers game. The Jaguars beat the 49ers by 5 with Washington's punt return touchdown. They have 4 takeaways. Again, another special teams / defensive game. With the way the defense and special teams are playing for Jacksonville in the opening month of the season, the Jaguars are capable to keep pulling out wins, even if Trevor Lawrence and the offense aren't yet operating at peak efficiency. And it does suck. You are 4 weeks into the season, and yeah, the offense doesn't look great, but you're sitting at 3-1. You're one of the best, if not the best team in your division, up there with the Colts. We'll talk about the Colts in a second, but really good game here again. The Jaguars get to Purdy, recover a fumble. It is cool to see Brock Purdy back. I will say that that is a good thing for the Niners. They lost this game, but they are still 3-1, as well as having their starting QB back. Parker Washington, 87-yard kick return touchdown. NFC teams have shitty special teams. I don't know what it is. Christian McCaffrey got a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence threw it up to Hunter Long for a touchdown. And I'm just going to kind of get into the performances real quick. In Brock Purdy's return, he didn't play terrible, although not great. 22 for 38, 309 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns. But man, we're throwing 2 interceptions. I think he fumbled the ball as well. It just wasn't looking good. Trevor Lawrence threw 21 for 31 with a touchdown. Unproblematic performance. Travis Etienne had the ball rolling for the Jaguars this game. 19 carries, 124 yards and a touchdown. I wish he was doing that last year, not letting Tank Bigsby just take all of his touches for the sake of my fantasy, but that's fine. Moving into other things, Christian McCaffrey really good on the receiving end. 6 catches, 92 yards and a touchdown. We've always known him to be a receiving back, so that was pretty awesome. And just looking at the defense, I mean, Eric Armstead used to play for the 49ers, and now he's over there, and they have Tyson Campbell and really good defense as well. All right, 3 more games to talk about for the week. We had a pretty good week of football here. Colts and Rams. Tutu Atwell makes a late 88-yard touchdown catch, and the Rams rally past the Colts by 7. Adonai Mitchell's fumble really cost them this game here, I'm going to be honest. Tutu Atwell hasn't received many opportunities to make plays in his 5 seasons with the Los Angeles Rams. He knew he finally had a chance Sunday when he looked over his shoulder to see Matthew Stafford's perfectly spiraled ball sailing towards him and took the opportunity, scored the touchdown. The Rams make a big play, and they are now 3-1. Really good football here. I don't know what the hell Adonai Mitchell was doing. You have to hold the ball, you have to get in the end zone, and then you can celebrate. I don't know, professional football players, I know Adonai Mitchell has only been in the league for a couple of years now, but that's just a mistake you can't make. Again, shout out to Tutu Atwell, huge touchdown. And Puka Nacua is fucking unbelievable. He might be a top 5 receiver in the league right now. He's looking insane. Michael Pittman Jr. was catching touchdowns. It was a pretty decent offensive game. Daniel Jones in his first loss of the season, 24 for 33, 262 yards and a touchdown. He did throw 2 picks though. Matthew Stafford probably had the best week of any quarterback this week, 29 for 41, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. He looked absolutely phenomenal. You get Kyron Williams going 13 carries for 77 yards. You have Tutu Atwell going 13 catches, 170 yards and a touchdown. That offense looked really good this game. Adonai Mitchell, 3 catches, 96. Now obviously he could have even had another touchdown, another big play without the fumble, another decent defense with the Rams. Jared Verse and Cameron Curl, really dope stuff. So shout out to the Rams continuing to get some wins here. The Bears and the Raiders. Actually a really entertaining game here. Josh Blackwell blocks a field goal to preserve the Bears' rally for a 1-point win over the Raiders. They were looking kind of shitty there, but the Bears get to 500, so shout out to them. In the end, the Bears won over the Raiders. Came down to, again, Josh Blackwell getting a hand on a field goal attempt, which seems about right for the Bears. Really good game here. Game-winning field goal block on Daniel Carlson, one of the most prolific kickers in the NFL. DeAndre Swift gave the Bears the lead with the touchdown. Ashton Jeanty scored 3 fucking touchdowns, so for all you that were talking shit on fantasy, relax, stop overreacting, and actually watch some football for once in your life. Ashton Jeanty was an absolute fucking stud this game. We cannot take that away from him. 21 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown. Absolutely incredible. But when you have a guy like Geno Smith that has thrown fucking 7 picks this year, I think, 14 for 21, 2 touchdowns, and 3 goddamn interceptions, there's not really much you can work with there. Caleb Williams threw 22 for 37. He threw a touchdown. He threw a pick, but it wasn't 3 interceptions. They won the turnover battle there. DeAndre Swift got in the end zone. Rome Odunze continuing to have a great season so far. 4 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Kind of just keeping up the consistency with the Bears here. And Tremaine Edmonds has been a really good defensive piece for them. The last couple of years he's been there. So the Bears muster out a win, and that's cool. Packers and fucking Cowboys. Man, this sucks. I would have rathered this than lose probably. But A, we could have won this game. And B, Matt LaFleur's an idiot because we could have won this game. Micah Parsons' hype return to Dallas ends with the Cowboys and Packers tying. This was supposed to be an insane script, an insane game. But guess what? Overtime rules say you have to tie at some point. And that's what happens. Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott both said winning was the only thing that mattered. And the Green Bay pass rushers' hype return to Dallas. But guess what? Neither of the fucking teams win. We have Dallas's first tie in over 55 years, and it's just a fucking mess this game was. They play to tie. You play 70 minutes of football to tie. I don't understand why that's a thing. McManus kicked the field goal as time expired. Matt LaFleur's like, fuck it, let's take a shot in the end zone. With 7 seconds left, Jordan Love doesn't get it out till literally the last second, bounces off a defensive player's back, and there's a damn second left for us to kick it. Terrible clock management throughout. We're jogging to the line. We really didn't deserve to win this game. There were a lot of miscues. This is mostly on Matt LaFleur, but Jordan Love getting a fumble with 14 seconds left. On our side of the field, the Cowboys get the ball in like the 20. They have a chip shot for Brandon Aubrey, even more so because it's Brandon Aubrey. And instead of kneeling it out and taking the lead going to halftime, we end up losing by halftime. So it's really bullshit, man. Obviously, Micah Parsons got to Dak Prescott and forced a field goal, so he made plays at the end. Now, I know people are kind of shitting on him on social media. That was a pretty big stop for him. That won us the game, but that's not a sack. I'm not going to say that's a sack. I refuse. Kind of a touchdown battle, but shout out to fucking George Pickens. Holy shit. Scored a touchdown with 43 seconds left. This was an entertaining game. Even if it ended in a tie, an absolute clinic offensively. Jordan Love, 31 for 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was fucking unbelievable. Dak Prescott, 31 for 40, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just really good football being played. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns. Javonte Williams had a touchdown. And Josh Jacobs also had 4 catches for 71 yards. I don't know what our team would do without Josh Jacobs out there. George Pickens had one of the better receiver performances of the week. He had 8 catches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And there you go. Some of our defense was kind of shit, but at least Micah Parsons and Quay Walker somewhat came to play. I don't really know anyone on the Cowboys defense. I guess Jack Sanborn's good, but there you go. We're going to wait to see how the Monday games go, and I'll record videos for that. What's going on, everybody? We are back with a Monday of NFL action. Week 4 is officially in the book, so now we can talk about the rest of the games, and I'm only going to talk Jets-Dolphins. I don't need to talk Bengals-Broncos. It was a pretty dog shit game. The Bengals are obviously a mess right now with their injuries, but let's just get into the Jets and the Dolphins. There's not really a whole lot to say here. I didn't watch a lot of the game. I'm really locking out on homework, and by the way, just an FYI, I'm trying to get videos out as quick as I can, but I have so much shit I'm working on. Career fairs coming up. I'm doing homework assignments, trying to cram in. I got to go somewhere this weekend, but really fun stuff. A really fun game. Garrett Wilson had an insane touchdown for the Jets, and it looked like the Dolphins were going to run away with this game, but give credit to the Jets. But obviously, guys like Devon A-Chain made it tough. Darren Waller had 2 touchdowns this game. I'm not sure how he's still in the league, but man, you got to give some credit where it is due with some of these guys. You look at things, Justin Fields returned. He threw 20 for 27, 226 yards and a touchdown. A very efficient return. 7 carries, 81 yards and a touchdown. Really made up that offense. Tua Tagovailoa having one of his better weeks of the season. He threw 17 for 25, 177 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I know that's not much, but it's preventing turnovers, which is great. Devon A-Chain had a rush touchdown. You get Garrett Wilson going 6 catches, 82 yards and a touchdown, and unfortunate for Tyreek Hill, he's going to be out for the season. I think he fucked something up in his leg, but at least he had 6 catches for 67 yards. I'm not going to say the meme. Don't even pull it up. Okay, you can put it in the edit if you want to. Looking at the Dolphins defense, Jordan Brooks, Rasul Douglas, they have a pretty solid core out there, and they get, I think, their first one of the season, so there you have it. Well, everyone, it has been GZTV. We are wrapping up the week. Let me know how your team did. Let me know how fantasy went for you this week. I got a lot to do. I don't know how many minutes, how long this video is going to be in terms of clips. We actually had a pretty solid week of football. I might try to get this out Wednesday. I don't know, man. I just have homework on homework on homework. I have to cram it all in basically before the weekend, so we'll just have to see how everything goes. With that being said, though, it has been your boy GZTV. I'm out. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Really fun week of football here. Obviously, it didn't end that well for my Green Bay Packers, but I'm thankful for another week. We still have 14 weeks and the playoffs, so make sure you're here. Be there, be square every single week as we kind of get through the season. Storylines are developing, legacies. It's an entertaining time. I mean, who doesn't love sports? I'm in the process of watching Thor: Love and Thunder. I just watched like the first 15 minutes of it, but now I have to edit this video, so I will get to that. That'll be the next thing on the itinerary for Marvel stuff. So there you go.